Welcome to the Traditional Way podcast. I'm Brett Shumway. I'm excited to be back with you guys covering my third season of the World Karate Federation for the Martial Arts Center Network, and cannot wait to see what's in store at the events for 2025 and what the outcomes are going to be. I want to start as usual by acknowledging the Martial Arts Center Network for their support of this podcast, and to make sure that you guys are checking out all the programming on the network via our social media pages and on the website at www.mainternetwork.com. We start out the 2025 season with the Karate One Series A that just finished up in Tbilsi, Georgia. Now, this event had over 1,100 athletes representing 87 countries, all looking to take home one of the 14 gold medals that were awarded. As this is the start of the season for the athletes that are not currently in the top 32 rankings, it is the first chance for most of these athletes to get the points needed to move up in the rankings and find their spot within the Premier League, as the Series A is the stepping stone for advancement within the WKF. Now let's take a look at who won in Tbilsi. We start off in the minus 50 kilogram division where the number 63rd ranked fighter Sarah Bominar would take the division, winning the final fight by a score of 1-0, securing her first gold since 2019 where she took wins at 2 Premier League events. Hopefully this win is signaling a return to the Premier League in her future. Sumugi Sakiyama tops the minus 55 kilogram division as this young athlete starts her first event in the veterans category off on the right foot, securing the final matchup by a score of 6-4. Now, will this victory start her off in the right direction since she hasn't won an event since she was a junior? In the minus 61 kilogram division, Mernagar Ahmadi, who was ranked inside the top 10 in the U21 division, steps into the veterans for the first time to win the division, taking the final matchup by a score of 4-0. Banu Ingamberdiva steps up into the minus 68 kilogram division, taking her first gold medal since the junior age category back in 2019. She would win a tightly contested final matchup with a score of 1-0 in what was her best performance as she is seen as a veteran fighter. And in the over 68 kilogram division, Kiraki Kitanaki starts her 2025 off the same way she started off 2024 by winning the first Series A event of the year, winning the final matchup by a score of 3-1. For her sake, let's hope the 2025 goes better than 2024, and this isn't the only win of the year that she would secure. In the female kata divisions, we have an athlete resurgence as Fatima Dastak returns to the top of the podium for the first time since 2017. In the final, she would face off against Hong Kong's Man Lo Sum in a battle of Paparin, where Fatima would edge out the victory by 0.4 points to secure her second ever WKF medal. In the female team kata division, the final would be a Shotokan showdown of the kata Unsu, where both Turkey and France would come out to perform the kata and bunkai portion of the performance. In the end, it was the Turkish team that would prevail, winning the final matchup by 0.9 points. It was an unfortunate showing for the U21 world number 1 Janko Dorta in the minus 60 kilogram division, as he would exit earlier than anticipated, losing his third match within the elimination pool, paving the way for unranked Morteza Kuramikale to win his first WKF event where he would squeak out a victory in the final by Senchu. In the minus 67 kilogram division, the reigning U21 world champion Adel Omara brings his impressive 70% win rate into the veterans division for the first time and tops the podium as he would have a great event in Georgia, introducing himself to the new age category. He won that final matchup 3-0. We see another newcomer in the veteran age category in the minus 75 kilogram division as Vahab Shamir moves up and wins the division. This is a quick ascent to the top of the podium for the young athlete, as this is only his fourth event and his first gold medal within the WKF. He would take a close final matchup by Senchu. In the minus 84 kilogram division, the number 71st ranked fighter Edard Gasparian would secure his first gold medal since 2021 as he topped the podium, winning the final matchup in a one-sided 8-1 victory. In the over 84 kilogram division, Mahmoud Namadi returns to the Series A after taking almost all of 2024 off to top the division once again, as he is 3-for-3 within the Series A for his career. He won that final matchup 2-1 in an all-Iran final. And further, this cements Iran as a country to watch in the Kumite divisions, as this event was a great showing for their country's program. In the male kata division, it was an all-Japanese final, as we would see in another installment of the Shitaru versus Shotokan showdown. This time it was the Shitaru stylist Soyota Oshiguchi that would prevail, as his Paparin was too much for the Sochin of his opponent Ken Okamoto. Soyota would win the final matchup by 0.6 points. In the male team kata division, It was once again a showdown of the Kata Unsu. This time it was between Turkey and Montenegro, and just like in the female division, the gold would go home with Turkey. They would dominate this matchup, winning the final by a score of 42.5 to 40.1. As we start the new year, we start the new season of the Premier League with the first event coming January 26th through the 28th in Paris, France. With the World Championships this year, I expect the Premier League to be even more exciting as the top 32 ranked athletes are going to be working towards that end goal of a world title. And for me, let's be honest, guys, this is my favorite time of the year. I love the Premier League. If you ever followed this podcast, you've heard me say this 1,000 times before, and it still holds true. What happens on the Premier League echoes throughout the traditional karate scene and divisions throughout the world. What katas are being done by the top competitors here are going to be run by athletes on every circuit that offers a Japanese Okinawan forms division. The uniforms that are worn on by the athletes on the Premier League will be worn by competitors around the globe. Easy enough, what these athletes do will be emulated for years to come. So I'm going to start with some expectations for this season. Now, usually I do predictions, but I wanted to start this year by not giving any predictions, but rather just explain what I hope to see happen, and we'll see how the season plays out. Let's start with a big one for me, right? Ariel Torres. Now, Ariel has easily been the most active competitor on the WKF in the past couple of years, right? He's currently ranked second in the world, which is, since I've been following the Premier League, he's the highest ranked American we've ever had in the rankings, and definitely in male kata. Now, last year, he saw his first final in the Premier League, and I expect that he will see more finals this year. I'll love to see him get his first Premier League gold medal, but let's be honest, Nishiyama's a tough nut to crack. So I think with his ranking and where he'll be seated, he has a more direct shot to the final than he has in the past, and we'll see how it goes for him this year. Now, as we look at female kata, I got to believe Kiri Mishima takes over this division by the end of the season. She has been on a tear, and I've covered how quickly she's climbed the rankings, and currently she sits in the world number 3 spot. But you can't argue her winning percentage. She has went 30-2 in 7 events that she has done within the WKF, with 5 golds, 1 bronze, and only 1 event that she didn't make it out of the elimination round, but that was where she lost to the world number 1 at her first ever Premier League. I would say she is in the best position to to take over the spot as a top female kata athlete within WKF. In the Kumite divisions, it's hard not to notice the run that Abdallah Abdulaziz has been on. He's won his last 7 events and no signs of slowing down. His career record is 125-30, and he's outscoring his opponents on average 3-1. Let's not forget he's the reigning world champion in both the individual and team Kumite divisions. I want to see how long he can keep up his current streak. When you look at exciting matches within the male Kumite division, you definitely want to look at the minus 60 kilogram division. It has been the most competitive divisions over the past 3 years, and one of the fighters to watch within the division is the new world number 1, Hiromu Hashimoto. With a 34-7 record in the WKF, he averages just shy of 8 points per match, which is one of the highest amongst the top fighters in the organization. So when you pair a high-scoring fighter and a fast-paced division, you get some of the best matchups you'll see within the WKF. Once again, the minus 60 kilogram division is the one to watch for male Kumite, and it's the most unpredictable, and right now Hashimoto sits atop at the beginning of this year. Lastly, for the men, Mohammed Al-Jafari brings a fire into the minus 84 kilogram division that is unmatched by many. With a 78% win percentage, he's outscoring his opponents on average 3-1. Unfortunately for him, he has struggled in the big events where he has come in as the favorite to win, but he did not execute. However, he's still 20 years old. I expect that this year he will grow into the world number 1 ranking he currently holds and dominate this division for years to come. In the female Kumite divisions, the minus 55 kilogram division is the one to watch, right? With Angelica Terluga out for maternity time off, who takes over the division will be the story. Last year's grand winner Valentina Toro Meneses is currently the favorite to take the number 1 spot, but you still have other up-and-coming athletes that could vie for this position. Realistically, Mia Baich and Maria Stoli could be a problem for the other fighters in the division. For me, I would personally love to see Trinity Allen step up and be more consistent threat to other fighters in this division. She has a talent, and now after anchoring the female US team into the silver at Worlds, she has the confidence to start making waves in this division. She has come up big before, claiming a silver medal at the 2019 World Championships. Now, it's time to see her make her mark in the Premier League and do this on a more consistent basis. Lastly, for the women, Joanna Kinnear is the one to watch in the over 68 kilogram division. She has the ability to score ippons with her defensive hook kick and has beaten the world number one several times in their matchups. She just needs to put herself in the position where she can fight the world number one. When they match up, Joanna wins. She has just had her struggles getting to that match on a consistent basis. But hopefully this year she does that and she takes over the over 68 kilogram division. And with all that, I just want to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the Traditional Weight Podcast. Join me on the next episode for the results from the Premier League event in Paris. Until then, continue to support the Martial Arts Center Network and join myself and the rest of the network at the AKA Warrior Cup this weekend in Chicago, as we will all be in attendance. Until next time.